All right, I need you to picture this. You're beautiful, sexy, gorgeous, so funny. Your name might be Maddie. You have a YouTube channel. You live in New York City, but you're home because of a pandemic, but your lease is up in New York, so you have to move virtually during a pandemic. Maddie, and I'm moving. I am leaving my current apartment and going to a new apartment in Brooklyn. I'm still in New York City. You couldn't literally pay me to leave New York. But with everything going on right now, this is like literally the most chaotic time ever to move. But c'est la vie, baby.
So I filmed this video 2 months ago, and obviously a lot has happened since then. I've seen a lot of creators donating AdSense money to different Black Lives Matter charities, different LGBTQ organizations. I don't make any money off YouTube, so I've just gone ahead and made a donation to Princess Janae Place in New York City. They aim to help the transgender and gender non-conforming population of New York that struggles with homelessness or housing insecurity. They offer a lot of really valuable services and support to the community here in New York City. So if you're able to donate, I'm gonna leave the links down below. You can donate, continue to donate. If you don't have the money, continue to share resources, stay involved however you can.
I've been wanting to make a video documenting the apartment hunting process in New York for so long. I fucking love watching apartment hunting videos. So I wanted to take you guys virtual apartment hunting with me, show you all the rent prices that we're looking at, tell you my tips and tricks for moving in New York City. This is gonna be my 4th time moving. So I feel like I'm kind of a veteran at this point. I've lived in 4 different New York City apartments. Someone in the comments is like, I've moved 10 times, you dumb baboon bitch. Anyways. Basically, our lease was up May 1st. I am filming this video on May 11th. So for the last 2 months, ever since Corona started getting bad, we were trying to negotiate something with our landlord so that we could pay month to month until Corona slows down and we can move at a better time, because we knew that we wanted to leave. In the middle of negotiating with our landlord, our building was sold to a new management company. The company was fine to work with. They were very polite on the phone, but it was clear that they were pretty slammed with, you know, acquiring a brand new building in the middle of a pandemic, that they really couldn't give me any good answer. Basically, they were like, well, we can't evict you right now, but we're also not gonna give you anything to sign. And you can't legally give us money past your fucking lease date. So they're being very nice to us, but I don't wanna be in a situation where Corona ends and then we get fucking taken to court because we're staying in an apartment that we're not paying rent for. So anyways, Shelby and I basically just said, fuck it, we're going virtual apartment hunting. Making you happy is enough to do. So let's talk about my past and current apartments and sort of where I have lived while I have resided in New York City. So the first year I moved to New York, I was in the dorms for my college. And then the second year, I moved to a 3-bedroom apartment on the Upper East Side. The rent was $3,300. It was a 6th-floor walk-up, and the place was a piece of shit. The rent was split amongst me and my 2 roommates. I had the biggest room, so I paid the most in rent. I mean, really the only reason we lived there was because it was close to our school. And at that point in time, our parents were all paying for our rent, so we had to find a place that everyone's families were okay with too. There was just like a lot of factors, so it wasn't really me choosing that apartment, because if it was up to me, bitch, I would not have lived there.
Also, can I just say that watching through this old apartment tour footage, did I not know how to use a fucking camera? Like, why am I shooting it like that? It's like, take the camera out of her hands. At that point, I had like 20,000 subscribers. The taste that all of you didn't have. I'm glad you're still here, but what the fuck?
But, you know, it was our first New York City apartment. It worked at the time, but it was actually fucking nasty. It was a gross place. I shot my short film Fear in that apartment in the bathtub, and everyone was like, oh my God, how'd you get the bathtub so gross? Like, thinking that I made it look gross for the film. Little did they know it just always looked that gross year round. From there, I moved to a 2-bedroom apartment still on the Upper East Side of Manhattan. I literally moved like 7 blocks north. For that apartment, we paid $2,300 a month. Again, split between me and my one roommate this time. That apartment was actually not that bad. We had a dishwasher. It was very small, but it was on the 2nd floor and we were right next to a Subway and a Rite Aid. It actually was a pretty nice apartment, all things considered. I liked our space, but I definitely did crave sort of a larger living area. Our kitchen and living room were, I mean, they were the same room. Our couch literally was basically pushed up against our stove. It was just like a really small place, but it worked while we were there, and overall it was a pretty good apartment. But it was also the Upper East Side, and you don't need to live there. So then, my senior year of college, I moved to Flatbush, Brooklyn with my friend, now roommate, Shelby, and we moved to literally the coolest address I will ever live in. I will never live at a cooler fucking address. We lived at 666 Ocean Avenue. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, you just can't get a better address than that. 666 Ocean Avenue? Anytime I ever gave that address to anyone, they were like, you're lying, you're punking me. And this was hard when I was inviting guys over to have sex with me. We moved to Flatbush because we found this massive apartment. I mean, our current apartment is actually fucking massive. A huge living room, both of our bedrooms are huge. I have 2 closets, we're on the ground floor. It's not a super renovated apartment, but the space is incredible, and we only pay $2,075 a month. So split between the two of us, paying $1,000 a month in New York City for everything that we got in this current apartment, I mean, it's a pretty great deal.
Pretend you don't see any of what's behind me right now. It's a green screen backdrop and not my new apartment. I understand that hearing anyone say that paying $1,000 a month is a deal is a little jarring. Yeah, New York rent prices are pretty steep. This is an expensive city to live in, point blank, period. I'm super lucky to have a job that pays me enough that I'm able to afford rent in this city. This is the only place I would ever want to live in the entire world, you know, like, it's part of it is you're paying for the apartment itself, and the other part is like you're paying to live in New York fucking City. Also, I know it's obvious that I edit these things over the course of like 100 million days, and I don't use any real order to how I fucking edit, as you can see from these videos of me. Anyways, I feel like that video doesn't do the apartment justice even, because it got way better decorated by the end of the time that we lived there, and I'm sure you can see by the decorations behind me that, like, a bitch knows how to interior fucking design, okay? I have a Pinterest, shut the fuck up. So, I just feel like I feel like that video doesn't give me enough credit. Because this shit is hot, you'll see.
We ended up staying in this apartment for 2 years because it's a great place, but we're kind of outgrowing it now. We want something a little different. The space was nice at the time, but I think now we kind of want other things. The main downside to our current building is that, well, there's a couple downsides. We don't have laundry in our building, and the closest laundromat is like a 15-minute walk away. It's actually probably not 15 minutes. That was an exaggeration. I was just lying straight to your face. Only like a 10-minute walk, and that's just irritating, and it makes doing your laundry such an extravaganza. Like, all of a sudden I have to carve out 3 hours of my life to go do laundry because I can't like leave it there and go do other things. It's just like a hassle, and I don't like it, and I'm ready to be picky about it. What can I say? The other thing, and this is probably like the main thing, Flatbush is below Prospect Park, and it's a good area. I've liked living in Flatbush. I have nothing negative to say about the area, but none of my friends live down here. And if you live in New York, you know that like getting from the lower half of Brooklyn to the northern half of Brooklyn is just a fucking hassle. Like, all my friends live in Bushwick and Williamsburg, and I would just rather be on those train lines at this point in time, because it takes me a fucking hour and a half to get to any of my friends, and then I just end up taking an Uber, and I can't be doing that shit, you know? So that was another thing. So this is the fun part, right? This is when we get to looking at apartments, baby. Like, literally, can you imagine how fun this video would have been if you were just like with me, like walking around looking at all the neighborhoods and like, But now we have to do everything virtually. It's fine. We'll go on a walk on Google Maps and we'll have a great time. So what do you need to know about moving in New York City? Let's get into some tips and tricks, baby. If you are moving here and you know nothing about the New York real estate market, they usually say to start looking 3 weeks before your desired move-in date, but be prepared to have to move before your desired move-in date if you look 3 weeks in advance. Like straight up, Shelby and I started and signed a lease within 1 week. It is a fast fucking process. You just have to be so prepared to act and act fast. So with that being said, being organized and being prepared for everything they're going to ask for is key. You need to organize like you have never organized before. And lucky for you, I'm a crazy bitch. I made a beautiful spreadsheet and I'm linking it below, so you can make a copy of it and use it for yourself, because it's been very helpful for me in apartment hunting, and I've sent it to a bunch of my friends and it's been helpful for them as well. So basically in New York, there's a couple different big rental websites. Street Easy is a big one. I feel like I use Street Easy the most out of everything just because the setup is very pleasing and organized, and I like it. There's also Rent Hop, which is pretty similar to Street Easy. You can look on Zillow. There's Apartment List, there's Nooklin, and I would also recommend checking out Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist, because there are some good ones on there as well, and sometimes it's coming directly from the building owner instead of through all these real estate agents and whatever. You can get a better price. After you have that initial list down, you're gonna go through and reach out to all of them. Odds are, a lot of them aren't gonna respond to you because by the time you reach out, somebody has already signed for it. So don't feel discouraged if you don't get a response from people. It just moves so fast that you were a little too slow. Typically, I would reach out to all of the ones that I like, asking to see the apartment in person, but obviously we can't do that right now. So I was messaging all of the brokers asking if they had any videos or sort of tours of the listing virtually. Some of them will have videos in the listing, but a lot of the time it's just photos, and it's really hard to tell sizes because half these motherfuckers are using fisheye lenses as if I can't see what you're doing. Like, I know the apartment is literally like 2 bricks wide and they're like, oh my god, it's so big, look at all this space, because they just like slap on a fisheye lens and call it a day. Absolutely not. So then after all of that, we arrive at the fun part, the touring, the apartment extravaganza.
Welcoming bachelor number 1. This first apartment is located in Crown Heights, which was a neighborhood that we were looking at. Definitely wasn't our top priority because it wasn't on the train lines that we would have liked, but we're open to it nonetheless. The price was $2,000. It looked like they had an outdoor space as well as laundry. Not to be so fucking gross. This isn't gross though. Anyways, if I had a balcony, I would have sex on it every day. I think about it a lot. A lot. Apartment number 2. This one was located in Bed-Stuy. Price was $2,295 a month. The pros of this apartment was that there was laundry in building, and that bathroom is the sexiest fucking thing I have literally ever laid eyes on. Cons to this apartment was that it was hard to tell sizes. It looked like one of the bedrooms didn't actually have a closet. So after further inspection and speaking with the listing agent, we decided that this apartment was good, but perhaps not exactly what we were looking for. This next apartment was also located in Bed-Stuy for $2,300 a month. It's got laundry in building, roof access, and a dishwasher. It looks all newly renovated. Just looks like a clean apartment. Like, it's just so new. When we reached out and got sent the video for this apartment, we realized that it was a lot smaller than those pictures depict, and a lot of our furniture that we currently own would not fit in this place, so this was a no. Alright, next up. This apartment was located in Crown Heights for the low of $2,100 a month. Pros of this apartment was that there was a private deck and sort of backyard area and a dishwasher. Cons was that there was no laundry in the building and the second bedroom looked a little small. They added all these photos to the listing with furniture to make it look like, oh, you could live here. But imagine if you had a chair that close to your fridge. But like the bathroom looks sexy, and outdoor space, like a little back deck would be so nice. Just imagine barbecuing it up, but space is too small, can't fit our stuff. Also, the bedroom that was big has like a weird window. All right, this next apartment was located in our ideal neighborhood, which is Bushwick, and the price is $2,395 a month, which is above our budget, but only by a little bit. So like, let's consider it if it is the perfect apartment. Let's see. So pros of this apartment is that there's laundry and building, there's decent sized bedrooms from the look of it. The bathroom is sexy as hell. I fucking love sexy bathrooms. Is this something about myself that I'm learning? I did an ad for a company. I like filmed stuff for them and they ran ads of me on Facebook. And in the ad, I was talking about a sexy hotel room. I don't know what the fuck I was talking about. I was smelling perfumes and I said one of them smelled like a sexy hotel room. And everyone in the comments was like, I don't know what the fuck she be talking about, but she do be talking. Anyways, I've been reading a lot about like seduction and things like that in quarantine. And I realized that I am really into like environmental aspects when getting hot and heavy. So maybe this makes sense. The scene and the environment really just like sets the tone for me sexually. So I am sexually attracted to this bathroom is what I was saying. I don't know what is happening to my brain today. Upon further inspection of this place and the placement of the doors, it looked like there really wouldn't be space in the living room for our couch and TV. Like, I just don't know where we would put it because it looks like there's doors on, I mean, fucking everywhere. The balcony looks like it could fit like maybe fucking one of my thighs. And for that much money, I really, you know, I would want the full balcony and not the fucking one thigh special. So this next apartment was located in Bushwick for $2,300 a month. Right off the bat, I loved all the lighting in this apartment. I love that the windows take up like the entire wall. I think that's super sexy. This one had laundry in the building as well as a balcony. We were sent a video for this apartment and the photos definitely make this place look a lot bigger than it is. This apartment also had a double bathroom, a gym on the ground floor, and roof access, and like tables and chairs outside. Like there was just like a lot of building amenities in this place despite being pretty small. It would have been a pretty nice place to spend the fucking summer if I was 80 pounds and took up this much space. And you know, if I was a toddler, this would be the best place to live. Okay, I really don't know what apartment number we're on at this point. I am lost and insecure. This next apartment was in Bed-Stuy for $2,220 a month. Pros, rooftop access, laundry and building, as well as a little bit of a balcony action going on. We got sent a video for this apartment and who listened to that and said, this sounds like music that would make someone want to live here? Someone has lied to you. It looked like the living area, because it was merged with the kitchen in the way that it was, there wasn't really an easy spot to put our couch and TV, and the balcony was attached to one of the bedrooms, which just kind of sucks. And this last apartment was located in Bushwick for $2,450 a month. So a lot over our budget. We found this place on Craigslist, and I mean, this shit is fucking sexy, dude. As you can see, there's white brick walls, the bedrooms are on either side of the apartment, so you sort of get a little bit of privacy from each other, and both bedrooms get good natural sunlight. The kitchen was newly renovated, a ton of storage space, central air, laundry in unit. What the fuck? We weren't even looking for that. And the place had 2 bathrooms. So this apartment was kind of major. I know that by looking at where I am right now, it might be a little obvious which apartment we ended up getting.
When we saw the Craigslist apartment, Shelby and I saw this apartment, we were both like, fuck, because it's a little bit out of our price range, but it's right in the area that we want to be in. It's so renovated. It's so beautiful. Like, laundry in unit, white brick walls, dishwasher, all of that kitchen storage, 2 bathrooms. Dude, It was a lot. And this is when we started doing a little bit of negotiation, baby. So on Craigslist, the apartment was listed at $24.50. On other websites, it was listed as $25.50. So, I mean, it was out of our budget completely. So we told the listing agent, listen, our budget is closer to $2,300. Is there any way we can, you know, get the price down a little bit? And when Shelby and I were talking, I was like, I would feel comfortable paying $23.50. Like, even if we're $50 over what we actually want to be paying and what our budget is, I think we can make that work for all of this. Like, the amenities were incredible. We find this apartment on Tuesday, May 5th at like 1 p.m. We negotiated down at 2 p.m. He agrees to do $23.50. From there, we kind of knew that we were gonna go all in on this apartment, that we wanted to give it a shot to see if we could get it. So then, application time. So when you apply to an apartment, they're gonna ask for a couple routine things. They're gonna want a scan of your license front and back, your 2 most recent pay stubs, your 2 most recent bank statements, usually 2 or 3 of your most recent rent checks, and your income tax return for the previous year. If you're going to be using a guarantor, they're gonna need all of those forms from them as well. After we negotiated the price down, there were 2 things that needed to happen. First step of application is usually to put down a deposit, so they'll take your listing off the market, which gives you like 24 to 48 hours to get your application in. So Shelby and I put down a deposit on Tuesday night, and we got all our paperwork together to submit our application on Wednesday afternoon. Here we were asked for a couple other things that sort of extended the process. This is why the application day is the most stressful day. From there we had to get a form notarized, and then the new landlord wanted a recommendation letter from our current landlord. Now, if you remember back to the beginning of this video where I said that my lease was up on May 1st and we were still living there, technically without a lease, you know, a little sweet talking later, and the landlord agreed to do it, so we got the recommendation from the landlord, we submitted it, and then Thursday morning we got approved. Thursday afternoon we signed the lease. So literally from Thursday, April 30th to Thursday, May 7th, that was our entire apartment hunting process from beginning to look to signing the lease. And we are moving in this Friday, so a week later we're moving in. Oh my God. Literally, New York real estate is so fucking stressful and chaotic. What the fuck? I guess I just spoiled it, but we got approved. We got approved on the morning of Thursday, May 7th, and I was losing my mind. So fucking excited, like just ready to blow my fucking lid. We're gonna have laundry in our fucking apartment. Again, I'm linking the Google sheet that I use to organize my apartment hunts below. I think it's really helpful in searching and organizing, prioritizing which ones you like best, what gets you the most bang for your buck as far as what you're looking for in an apartment. Go ahead, use that template, make a copy of it, live your best life. If you guys have not heard yet, I do have a podcast now. It's called Girl Under You. We have a separate YouTube channel for it if you're into video podcasts, and it's also on Apple Music and Spotify. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to follow me on Instagram if you haven't already. I'm at Maddie Dragsbaek on pretty much all social media. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.